The bad reputation happens is people use these same techniques, but they don't add any real value. They use a hook, they make a promise, and then they don't really deliver. And I think the difference between building a brand, which you're beginning to do, and that I've done in my life as well, is you always add more value, and that spreads like wildfire. And then the same techniques, you're able to execute and get a result that's 10 or 15 fold. Because a lot of people say, well, you know, I tried that and it didn't work. And I said, well, that's like saying, you know, I tried to give somebody good service and it didn't work. You know, you got to keep doing what's necessary to get the job done. You got to find out what their needs. You got to zero in on. You've done a great job of that. You know, we were both talking the other day. We both have a mutual friend in Evan Pagan he's built an incredibly successful business teaching young men how to date more effectively. You know. And Evan's quite a character. He's a really brilliant guy, but his big offer in that first one you were mentioning the other day is click on here and I'll give you the secret to know whether the kiss test, whether or not you should kiss her or not, you know. And guys are like, oh, how do I know? And you know, he reveals in that piece he says, what if you
touch their hair and if they pull away, they don't want to kiss you. If they lean in, they want to kiss you.
Yeah, and so guys are like, wow, that's cool. I could just touch her hair and I don't have to risk the rejection, you know. But it's enough to really hook people. But then what Evan does, to his credit, is he really delivers quality understanding, helps these guys to understand what women really think, what they really feel, what their own fears are. So he really delivers on the back end, and that's why his relationship goes. So I know I keep repeating, but I'm just doing it because so many people watch a video like this and they go, okay, yeah, I got it, and they don't walk away, don't follow through. My goal, if you're watching, is to make sure you really follow through. So again, you got to find your passion or find somebody else who's got a passion, who's got an interest that you really know people get some benefit from. Got to create a product that you know is valuable, and if it's an information product, it's going to be on CD or DVD, it's going to be some package of that nature. Third, you got to find out where people that want that product, your customer would likely be, using Google or finding communities or forums, whatever the case would be. Once I've done that, all I need now to do is create a series of steps. And how many steps is it really from the time that I make contact with them, either by being in their community, by a banner ad, by an email, how many steps from there to the free video offer? Walk me through those steps and let's talk a little bit about free and what free really means.
Yeah, the steps, there's not a lot of steps. Like I said, it's a very short sales process, very short. Again, it's just providing value quick and getting them in. So the first step obviously is, let's just talk about forums, for example. You're in the forum, you got to put a message out there. Now, the bad way to do it and the way you can get kicked off and ruin your business and your brand like overnight is come in there and say, hey, I've got this brand new product, come check it out. Okay, that's called spamming. People don't like that. They don't want that. But there's ways to advertise that aren't obtrusive that people don't get angry about. So for me, if I go to a forum, I'm going to buy banner ads. I'm going to see if I can buy Google ads on there. Whatever I can do to get my message out in front of everybody. Second thing is I can become part of the community. Okay, you can post messages, and most forums will allow you to talk about what you're doing. Hey, I just made this free video. It's really cool. This is, go check it out. And the people who are in there that are active, that are reading these kind of things, the best customers you want are going to be seeing that kind of stuff. They're going to be wanting the free video, the free content, and that kind of stuff.
And you tend to, don't you have more credibility in community? I mean, even a big community like Twitter, if you're constantly finding a way to add value where you aren't asking for something as well, whether it's sharing a quote or an insight or an understanding or sharing an opinion, if you do that on a regular basis and you're known and you've got your ads and people go, wow, that's the business they're in, but look at all this value they're giving me right here. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That's the thing that's different, I think, the new business world versus the old business world. Old business world, you could shove it down someone's throat and, because that's the only place they have. Whereas here in this world now, I mean, if you try that, the communication streams are so open and easy that within seconds, within minutes, you can destroy your whole reputation, your brand, because the messages spread very fast.
There's different rules today. People's expectations today are to get value for nothing,
for free,
ongoing. And so as a business, you have to know that what you used to be able to charge for up front, you're going to have to add more and more value, which might be difficult, but it is the way the game is played. And it's also, more importantly, it actually makes you feel better about yourself, because even if they didn't buy your product, you did something good for them, and that spreads. They don't buy today, but maybe they buy tomorrow, or they tell somebody else, hey, that guy's really a good guy, check him out. And it creates credibility and trust based on something you've really done, not based on something you bought an ad about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So continue. So if I've got that person now and I've been a part of that community and they've come to my squeeze page and I have this offer and it says, I've got this great idea or I've got this great solution. If you want to know whether you should kiss or not, if you want to know how you can shoot your potato gun 50 feet longer, just give me your email address here and I'll give you a video on it. Boom. I give the email, the video comes up, I get to watch it right now. I go, aha, then what?
And then from that point, I try to sell immediately, because someone's excited at that point. Their interest up there in peak buying state. You don't want to wait a week or a month. You don't want to wait time to sell them something. So provide value again. Give them the opportunity to purchase from you. So as soon as in the video, actually, is the same time as I do it, I'll give the secret, and I say basically, hey, if you think that was really good, I've got 7 more secrets or 10 more secrets, or my entire system is this, or come to my workshop to learn this, or come to our car dealership to test drive the car, or come to my dental practice. I can show you how the teeth whitening works, or whatever your niche is, whatever business you're in. That's where you want to get the call to action. You push them to do whatever the next step is you want them to do.
Right.
So again, depending on your business, it depends on what it's going to be. For me, I'm going to sell them something. For you, it may be have them come down to your clinic or your office.
Right.
But some kind of call to action right there. Again, when they're in peak state, they have their aha moment. They're ready to move forward. They want more value. They're excited by what you just gave them.
And it's a place in which you've actually given value first. So that's what's really establishing your credibility.
Exactly.
So now, let's talk about, you give a great example. I know it comes from, I think, Irrational Exuberance, or one of the books that studies that. But this idea of free quality versus free. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, free is the most amazing word in the English language, and especially when it comes to marketing. And most people think, I'm not immune to free. Free does not affect me, but the reality is it does. And I know that because most of my offers, if you look at them, they're all free. Something's free. We're always giving away something for free. But in the book, it's actually Predictably Irrational. They did a case study to kind of prove the power of free and how irrationally people think when they hear the word free. So they did this test. They took Hershey Kisses and they took Lindt chocolates, which are really expensive chocolates, and they put them out on a table. And they said, okay, we're going to charge people 1 cent for Hershey chocolate and 25 cents for the expensive Lindt chocolate. And people came in through this assembly line, looked at both of them, and they say, man, the 25-cent Lindt chocolate's a great deal. It's a much better value. I'm going to buy that. And they ran people through this thing, and it was like 70 or 80% of people bought the more expensive chocolate for 25 cents because the value is so much higher. So they thought, okay, let's do a price test.
Because it's worth $1 or $2, but Hershey's chocolate Kisses
only
are
a penny
virtually
anyway.
free. They're a penny anyway. So what's the deal? Got it.
So they did that test, and obviously the results, more people took, 80% of people more took the Lindt chocolates. And they said, okay, rationally, let's do a price test. They raised the price by the Hershey Kiss to 2 cents, and they raised the price by Lindt chocolate to 26 cents. And they ran the whole group of people through, and they looked at the results, and nothing changed. It was still the exact same thing. So they said, okay, rationally, if we raise the price by a penny on each of these, if we lower them by a penny on both of them, rationally nothing should change, right? So they did the same thing. They changed from a penny to free for the Hershey Kiss, and from 25 cents to 24 cents for Lindt chocolate, ran the people through, and the results flopped. It switched completely, where now 80% of people were taking the Hershey Kiss for free versus the 12% that took the Lindt chocolate.
Now, wouldn't that be people saying, I have to take money out of my pocket to go do one? If this is free, I don't even have to think about it, I just take it. I know they did a follow-up study.
Yeah, they did a follow-up study because of that. So they put it like in a cafeteria line where people were already purchasing. There was no difference. They just had to add it to their pick it up and put it on their tray. Right. It was already added to the bill. There's no extra steps, no pulling a credit card out, and the results didn't change at all. And so the word free, for whatever reason, has this weird effect on people to make them act completely irrational. People that normally would never give you the name and email address for that free tip. Okay, I want to give my real one because I want to make sure I get that tip. And they start acting differently because they want the free thing. And so, again, the internet runs off of information, it runs off of free things. So what is it? Evan Pagan talks about moving the free line. What we used to sell for $20, now we give away for free to provide value. We're moving that free line up. And what we used to sell for $100, now we sell for $20, and just everything is kind of shifted up because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for free things. But again, if you're providing that value at every step along your value chain, along your value ladder, people keep wanting the next thing. They'll keep wanting the next thing. They'll keep ascending up and going after all the products you have.
So let's assume, using a business example, that I'm a dentist. I have a company that manages dentists, and their biggest challenge, obviously, like most businesses, is how do I get new clients? If they do a good job, they keep the client, but they're not marketers, right? Yeah. So they're waiting for the phone to ring, or they put their normal ads like everybody else, and then they look like everybody else. So the ones that I've seen succeed have done a very similar process. They've gone out there and they found communities where it's not hard for them to say where are people that are communities. Anybody is a dental community to some extent, right? But what their whole piece is like, these are 6 things that will cause you to have dental disease and to lose your teeth before you're 55 or between your 50s and 60s. And there's 3 things you can do to avoid it. Click on here. And what they'll do is they'll bring them on and he'll teach, passionately these 3 or 4 things that will get your full attention.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, I don't really floss. Can't imagine flossing, but that doesn't look too good to me. And he says, but here's an alternative. The alternative is we have laser care. And if you can come in, this is ideal for you to do every day, but laser care done 3 times a year that is completely painless can make a difference. And what I'm willing to do is, I'd really like to have you as a client. I'd like you to see that I'm really a professional. So come in for your first session on me. And if it isn't the most painless, simple, clear, and refreshing experience you've had in a long time, don't come back. But I think you're going to find that if you'll just give us a few minutes in our professional offices, we can do it, and then we can lay out a plan to take care of you so you'll never have to go through this. And suddenly, they got this floodgates of people coming in, and once they're there, they do add such value.
Oh, yeah.
They just didn't, there was this, for most businesses that are quality businesses, there's this big hole between me giving my gift to you that I've worked my whole life to be able to give, and me having to be a marketer. And the unfortunate part is most business people, especially ones that have a gift or a talent or a skill, or people at home that have an idea, they got the idea, they got the gift. They just don't know the marketing. And unfortunately, business is innovation in marketing, right? I mean, it's how do you create something that's totally unique? You innovate, it's better for people, but how do you get people to know it's better and try it out? And free seems to be the way to make that bridge.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, last time I went to the dentist, the dentist got us in, we switched dentists, he gave us some free teeth cleaning. So we came in, hey, we haven't cleaned our teeth in a while. We got free teeth cleaning. While we were there, he's looking at it, and he provided value for me. But while he was working on my mouth, he said, hey, Russell, you know, your teeth are starting to shift from when you had braces when you were a little kid. You know, we can build a retainer for you for $3,000. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then he's like, oh, and your teeth are kind of starting to turn a little yellow. You know, for an extra $500, we can get a teeth whitening kit. And he kept, you know, doing the upsell, selling the other products. And when all said and done, I came in for free teeth whitening, and he got a lot of business from me, from my wife, and from our kids, because the way, you know, getting the free gets you in, and then the value.
Did you feel taken advantage by that? Did you feel it was unfair? Why?
Because I got what I came in for. I got the value I wanted, and he was just noticing stuff, just as almost like a consultant saying, hey, by the way, you know, your teeth are kind of shifting, and I can help you with this. Oh, thanks. That helps me a lot. I provided more value. It's going to help me out better in the long run. And again, you do business that way, you know, it's not a bait and switch.
Yeah,
you know, there's a big difference between bait and switch and providing value and giving stuff up free.
I think that's the key. I think when you know somebody authentically cares, and it isn't just a scam to try and get more out of you, and what they're talking about you really truly need, you may not want to hear that you need it, but you need it.
Yeah.
And as a business owner or a professional of any sort, you got to have a fiduciary responsibility that says, if this is my client, I'm going to take care of them. So, but you got to get them in proximity with you, which is what this whole process is about. Well, I know that, you know, there's no way in one interview we're going to be able to cover everything, but I think you did a damn good job. I really thank you for making it really simple and taking away some of those presuppositions people have that say, you know, I can't start a business because there's so many steps. I don't know each step. I don't know how to do each step. It's going to take me forever. I think you've wiped out a lot of those excuses without being harsh, just by your own example and by keeping it simple. And I know, Russell, you also, you know, coach people to do this. So I think we'll circle back. We're going to have the, you know, the web cast this month where people can ask you direct questions. And I know you're going to give us this step-by-step kind of little mini manual for people. So those who are watching here, you want to take and say, what am I going to do next? We try to make it really clear on this video, but I think the manual will take you through it, and then maybe join us for the webcast so you can talk to Russell directly and get some of that direct coaching. But I want to thank you for coming all this way to Fiji, and I'm looking forward to becoming good friends.
All right, thank you so much.